I'm gonna make eggs Benedict, California style. I'm gonna also do hash browns with onions and chives. So I'm gonna prep the garnish for the two right now. This is dill that's gonna go on the eggs Benedict. And when you're chopping herbs, it's good to get them all together and just very thinly slice. Okay, stop. Okay, so I'm just slicing the dill. For the eggs Benedict, it's going to be the garnish. And they also have the butter, which is making noise, and it's melting, and that's going to clarify for the hollandaise that we're going to make. Okay. And we got chives, and that's going to be the garnish for the hash browns. And I just got these chives right out of a pot from the garden. You can probably hear that butter just going away. I don't know what's going on. It's pretty much melted now. So basically all the scum that goes to the top, you skim that off, that white stuff. It's the part of the milk solids, and there's some at the base too. So you don't want to stir that up too much, but I'm going to skim that off after and discard that. So that will be clarified butter, so there's no other particles in there to make the sauce separate, because you can technically do it by not clarifying the butter, but your chances of splitting the sauce are very high. Okay, these potatoes have been baked. Just going to peel them, peel the top, bottom. You just turn it and just keep taking a little bit at a time. Paring knife. They actually are still warm. Okay. And then we're gonna slice them. I'm going to fry these up after with onion. I'm going to peel some onion, the white onion. I'm not going to use the whole onion, probably maybe half. Just turn on its side. And then cut a little bit of an angle, working your way up, down. Okay, this is the clarified butter. This is about a half a brick, so it's about a cup. And we'll skim off the top solids here. Usually use a ladle, but this is a small amount, so it's okay with a little spoon. The ladle is easier though, if you have a smaller one. Now, if there's just a tiny bit in there, it's not too bad. But there's still some solids at the bottom that we have to get rid of. So I'll have to pour that into something. Or sometimes I pour it directly as I'm emulsifying the clarified butter into the egg. But when you're doing that, you gotta be careful not to pour it all in there. But you can see there's still stuff at the bottom. But if you don't stir it up, it'll stay down there. Okay, I'm gonna crack the eggs, separate them for the hollandaise. Some people do it in the eggshell, but when I was in culinary, I had chefs training me, and the reason you do it in your hands is so that you can clip off that little membrane, and if you don't do that, then it will be in your sauce. So yeah, you'll get a little bit of white in there, but you try to get very, very little. Like you can look in there and see that there's a tiny bit. There's a little bit of membrane on that one, but I can't get that because it's too tight. But I've got the other one, so as you can see right here, there's that right there, and I want to get that. And a lot of times, if you did it with just the eggshells, you miss that. I try to get the other one, but it's not that easy. But yeah, so you let it glide, kind of slide through your fingers, and then use your fingers as like scissors to cut it. Just imagine doing like 100 of these. That's what I do when I'm doing like a big buffet for breakfast for Eggs Benny. This is a lot nicer. I'm only doing 4. Okay, we got our 4 separated egg yolks. I got lemon here. Just squeezing it through a fine mesh strainer here because you don't want to get any seeds in your hollandaise and ruin it, or someone chips a tooth, chokes on it. Limes aren't as bad when you're doing squeezing a lime, but lemons are really bad for seeds. Like this one's actually amazing. It doesn't have many seeds, almost none. And that might be enough. And I make a gastrique, which is a vinegar reduction with parsley stems and shallots and peppercorns, but I'm not doing that today. I'm just doing lemon juice, and you add lemon juice as well, but usually that gastrique, that's a classic French cuisine, that's how you make it. But this is still good. Put a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. It's to taste. So you taste it, and you can add a little bit, add a little more. I'm just putting a little bit at the beginning, and then you can always add some at the end because the butter is salted. So as you add the butter, it's gonna be salty from that anyways. Okay, so we'll go over to the stove. And then I got the water boiling there. Well, it's almost a simmer. I gotta bring it down a little bit more. I don't want it too hot. And that's bain-marie, which is like a kind of double boiler effect. And then you put your mixture here on there, and then you just whisk it. And if you notice it's cooking on the sides, you just take it off. You're worried about it's cooking because you don't want it to scramble eggs. You just want to have a nice silky ribbon stage where it's pretty much a sauce. It's quite nice. Okay, I've been whisking for maybe not even a minute, and it's already starting to thicken up. See, but it's literally like steaming under there, and you can see how thicker it's getting. It's getting pretty thick now, and I want to take it off. I don't want to overcook it because it's actually, this bowl is hot and it's actually still technically cooking as it's came off. So if you leave it on there too long, it will scramble. But you can see how it's starting to thicken up a little bit and get to the ribbon stage where you could do a figure eight, but it's not holding a figure eight yet, so that means it's not quite there. It's almost there. But with the bain-marie, you don't want this too hot. Like I said, you want more of a simmer. If you can see under there, it's very lightly simmering. It's not much water in there really. And then if you whisk a figure eight back and forth, get the edges, and it's getting closer. You see it's getting thicker. Yeah, super close. I'll take it off because, like I said, it'll keep cooking, and that's pretty much there. I can tell it's like sticking to the sides of the bowl and everything, but you want to keep whisking because if you don't, it will settle and then you'll scramble and it won't be good. But you can tell, like, that's actually, like, that's almost overdone. But that's good because I'm going to add to that anyways. And if you're feeling it's too thick, like, you see how it's holding there? Like, that's how a hollandaise should be. It shouldn't be runny. It obviously can, you want it a little bit less than that, but I'm going to add the butter. So I add a little bit of butter, a little bit at a time. Now this isn't fully clarified. I put a little bit at the bottom. There's still that other solids in there, so I have to be careful as I pour it out, but just keep an eye on it. Another trick which I didn't do is you get like a bowl or wet paper towel and put it underneath, and then it'll hold it still, and you can use one hand to pour and one hand to whisk. And if you're feeling it's too thick, you can just put a little bit of water, just a tiny bit. You need to be careful. Actually, it would have been better to put that in a cup first, but you just put a little bit so you didn't put too much. But that, now it's, see, that's almost where you want it. But as you add the butter, it actually thickens too. Like I say, just a little bit at a time. You put too much, it'll separate. Like the way it looks right now, it's like separated, but it's not because I'm whisking it. But if I wasn't, it would be separated, And you would have to fix it, you would have to crack maybe a couple more egg yolks and start the process over again, and then add the broken mixture to that. And that's the way you could save your hollandaise, because I mean, you go to all that trouble. And this is enough for 2 portions, so about four bennies. I mean, I might just put that all in 1 portion if it was just me. Let's look at a little more. And like I say, just a little bit at a time. Keep adding it, and don't rush it. This is not something you want to rush. See, that's looking really good. So almost all there. A little bit left here. And then, oh, just a little bit of solids gold. That's okay, just a little bit's fine. You don't want to use all of that though. Yeah, that's looking good. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm going to taste it. Right, and you can even see how, if you want to look at it, coats the back of the spoon. If it's just running off and not sticking, well, that ain't right. Maybe just a little bit of salt. And the gas streak actually is quite nice. It would be a little bit better if I had that, but this is still pretty good. And then we'll just set that aside, ready for later. Okay, I toasted the English muffin. I warmed up Canadian bacon, the fry pan, and then we're going to put a little tomato for California style, and avocado, this is the well done. This is mine. This is medium-ish. Hollandaise here. Right. hash brown. Some chives, hash brown. Some fresh dill on the California eggs Benny. Voila.